Hello, friends and fellow adventurers. I wasn't warmed up.
Please keep that in.
Please keep that in. That's what she said. Welcome to the MNmaxed podcast. We want to thank you for joining us, and you do so as we continue Bloodlords. As always, we'd like to invite you to come join our Discord where you can hang out with us and other listeners of the show. And if you'd like to throw a little financial support our way, you can check out our Patreon. And a shout out to all of those at our Lich level and above. Rock Jedi, Wolf, Barnabas Slump, Thunder Mammoth, The Trevor Project, Das Chris, Fizzgig, AC Goldner, Eric R. Optus Gonna Secret Pasture there, Indie Link, Tawdry Monster, Mercutio, Angel Shadow Art, Sirendin, The Necromancer Forever, Doc Holiday, Corey, Robert T, Jason K, Dicky Lopez, Bobson Dugnut, Rickety Ropebridge, Alex K, Toma Elaka, Frank L, Just Mike Works, Ross D, Argoon's Long Lost Elbow, Fig Tier, Zach S, Jamie H, Mr. Turtle, Sleeve, Darren, Caleb W, Pickle, Mr. Grimm, Firedown, M54 Ewas, Jameson S, Eric R, +2 4 Salmon of Whacking, I'm Not a Robot, George F, Leo Hart, Har, Witch Hunter, Jeremy D, Matthew M, Scott E, Progeny of Kuchu Lane, Liz Giggles, Callistria Specialty, Brendan K, Grigus Maximus, Andrew G, and Ebon Flames. Thank you all so much for your support. And now a recap of session 34. We've traveled by sea and river to get to the port closest to our destination of Pac Ged, but we must travel the last little bit by land. Along the way, we meet a scared Quick family who describe a strange situation in Pac Ged. Apparently, all the Quick are dying and rising as sickly ghoul-like things that leak grossness. We're informed we should probably meet up with Shroud of the Exporters Guild. Decrosia, the hag we're searching after, isn't letting anyone leave the town. We send Pac Ged Ed and his family on the way to Grey Dirge. We get to Pac Ged. It's highly industrial but fairly decrepit. The green oozy zombie things are all over the place. They are quite antagonistic and don't want us there. They make it clear they consider this Decrosia's town and they don't care for Geb's laws. We leave the town before a fight breaks out. We then enter infiltration mode. We do some infiltrating. We have a plan, but it doesn't go overly well. We annoy some locals and a patrol of automatons with rifles attack us. They hit hard but die easy. The infiltration's still on and we scramble to figure out what to do next.
So you're standing on the streets of Pac Ged with your disguises and also with two ruined clockwork riflers at your feet.
I say we pull them into a building real quick where we go to rest.
There's this alley to the south of where you are, and then the building directly to the north.
The building directly to the north, can I peek in through the windows at all?
Absolutely.
I do so. What does it look like?
You can see that it's tavern is not really a good description for what a meeting place is in an all undead community. There are no Quick here, so there's no ale being served. However, at the tables you see that these zombies sitting around, playing cards, talking, just hanging out.
So there's people in there.
There are people in here.
Okay, I ignore that one. I look at the building to the south.
The building to the south looks like it's an open warehouse.
Any people?
Give me a perception check.
26.
26. You take a look in through the windows. 5 seconds. 10 seconds. No movement.
All right, we're going in. Is it locked?
It is not.
We go in, and I have Sundrinker drag the bodies.
Of the robots?
Yeah, get them out of the street.
I reverse engineer them so I can make robots. I looked at the crafting book. I can do it.
I love that.
I didn't look at the crafting book for fucking robots. I didn't.
That sounds like bullshit. So you managed to get the clockwork automatons that are disabled now into this warehouse, and it's the big empty warehouse. Cobwebs in the corners, dust motes floating everywhere. The only light that would be coming in would be moonlight from outside.
Moonlight's here?
Moonlight.
What are they doing here?
You can never say moonlight again.
Just like it's hard to say odd, even when we're playing the odd that campaign.
There is one problem. I don't know if Perdition would fit very well through the side door here.
They go into bones. I would carry him through and turn him back into a horse.
How convenient.
Very,
Isn't it though?
very fucking convenient. So everybody is able to get into the warehouse. What do you do next?
So every
Yeah, we need to heal up. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Spencer.
I was probably not going to say anything good. Who knows? It could have been crazy.
How do you forget what you were going to say so quickly?
Brain powers.
All right.
I have a great memory, except for when it comes to immediate things.
Short-term
Fair
memory.
enough. Fair
Not
enough.
like short term memory.
Short. I healed me and one other person. So whoever needs it gets 25. If I get that 10 minutes.
You absolutely do.
Is anybody else injured? I'm only down 11.
I'm down 10.
Yeah, I was full. I did not touch the road boots.
Well, somebody take it.
You take it, and I'll just heal myself with my focus spell and then refocus. While you heal. Well, David.
I guess that only took
Well,
10
we
minutes
can-
to heal up.
Alright.
I'm still down just a touch, but that's okay.
Maybe you should get hurt less.
Dude, I'm so squishy. I'm so
Like,
squishy.
there's a literal tank. There's 2
Problem is,
actual tanks.
he also is a tank. This creature
He's a
is
squishy tank.
But then Lucan gets shot, and it's like, oh, I'm dead.
Lucan with his 5 AC.
Exactly.
So you're able to get that time. You're able to heal up. That's what, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
It's not long after sunset. You still are at, the rough beginning of the infiltration, the gathering information stage.
Can I just imagine that as we're sneaking around these streets, like, all of us are in, like, disguises, but Sundrinker's a rose bush. So as we're walking, Sundrinker's just, like, scuttling from wall to wall. And it's like, I'm a bush. Scuttle to another wall. I'm a bush. Scuttle to another wall. I'm a bush.
Literally the only flora in
Yes.
town.
Oi! How long's that bush been here? I don't know. Doesn't look familiar to me. I mean, it had to have been here a while, right? It's pretty big. I don't know. How long does it take a bush to grow then? Well, I think more than 24 hours. Oh, you didn't just move? I'm a bush. And then they pop out from hiding. Ambush.
Do you recall what you were aiming for at the end of last session before you were rudely interrupted?
Well, the ultimate goal is to find and slay Decrosia, but we don't really know what building she's in right now.
And we're also looking for Shroud.
Shroud, that's right, we were going to go try to find where Shroud was.
I can't remember exactly where. Can't remember which direction we were going at the time we ran into these.
I guess we're headed towards the Exporters Guild, where we think Shroud is.
So if you continue in that direction, you're able to do so with no issue. You successfully, because you pulled the bodies off the street, did not attract any additional attention to yourselves.
Aha!
And we took their shit. Did we get their shit?
Automatons, they don't have any shit.
They had those guns. Those guns have to be worth something.
They had
Oh, yeah, the guns. We take the guns.
Next dedication, Gunslinger.
They each have a double-barreled musket. Magical double-barreled muskets.
Oh, shit.
And each of them has a bayonet affixed to it.
Nice. If Lucan dies, Alchemist Gunslinger. Coming. We keep going. We're on our way.
So you find your way in front of what you know now to be the Carter's Consortium building.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Carter's. I don't know why I keep calling them the exporters. They're the Carter's Consortium.
It's an easy mistake to make, I think. You come to the Carter's Consortium building, and it's a simple, if rusted, building. They all have metal siding and steel roofs. They're mostly rusted. This one's in a little bit better shape than most. Front door's unlocked.
I've forgotten what fake voice I was using for Lucan. That's all right. This person would have heard me use it anyway. We'll come up with another fake voice.
How did you forget what voice you're using?
For Luke, the fake voice.
Not for Lucan, the fake voice for Lucan being in
just play
disguise.
last week though. I don't remember what your voice was either, to be honest. But how did you forget it? You were the one doing it.
Dude, I just forgot what I was saying in like a minute.
I can forget how to do my characters' voices all the time.
I've never forgotten how to do my characters' voices.
You don't do voices.
You don't
cheater.
understand.
No, it's a separate voice for everybody. It's just a different version of Ted.
Oh, hey.
It's a completely different tone.
To be fair, you could say "oh hey" and I'd know it was the wizard no matter what. You could say "oh hey" 5 times and only one of them's the wizard, and we'd be able to tell which one's the wizard.
Probably.
I thought about doing it, but no.
I saw it. I saw the
Yeah.
gears cranking. I'm a little disappointed. We knock on the door.
The door opens.
As I knock, all creepily. Holy God!
That looks fucking cool.
Okay, this guy's badass looking.
I didn't realize he was Jack the Ripper.
I kind of digging that. Everything but his face.
Jack the Ripper as a green ghoul.
No, this is like
This man is a dwarf.
No, he's a Grinch.
Yeah, it's the Grinch.
It's the Grinch.
It's an evil the Grinch.
The Grinch is kind of evil.
It's the Lich version of the Grinch.
Or maybe he's misunderstood. I don't know.
This is Dr. Seuss's lesser known work, How the Grinch Stole Your Fucking Soul.
So we've got a Viralac, who we discovered last session is the type of zombie that raises from mass poisonings, the type of undead. They're not mindless. As the door opens, the man, he's wearing a big, heavy trench coat and leather boots and has a stovepipe top hat, just the most amazing sideburns and a scowl. As you open the door, it looks you up and down. What business do you have at the consortium?
Really quick before I speak, we would have figured this out before we go in. What was it we wanted to get information from him on? Basically, we're looking for Decrosia. And our cover is that we're looking into, like, missing shipments. And that was what we had discussed.
Yeah. And then, so if he's the Carter Consortium, he would be in charge of shipments.
Yeah. All right.
But also, Ed told us about him.
Ed told us about it, yes. Yes, hello. We are from Shore, and we're here to look into missing shipments.
Sallow Shore.
Yes.
Well, come in. Come in.
Thank you, good sir. I do so.
The bush, too?
The bush can wait outside if necessary. A vestige from when I was living. Sorry?
It's fine. It's fine. Come in.
Thank you. Thank you. I go in wherever we're going in.
Yeah,
I don't like that voice.
I know, I'm wanting it to be dumb. I want it to be dumb.
No.
so the man goes and walks behind a counter where there's books and ledgers, slots in the wall where he has different scrolls stored away and labeled alphabetically. Goes to the S section, has a scroll, pulls it out, opens it up, moves his finger across it, and he's got this big scowl across his face the whole time he's doing it. Puts the scroll back, goes to a ledger reference, opens it up, and it creaks and on the desk. And what dates are we talking here?
What month are we in?
Right now it's Lamashan, the 24th of Lamashan.
Oh, there would have been 2 from Lamashin 13th and 1 from Lamashin 15th.
He puts his hands down on the desk, and he slowly looks up at you. Do you have any idea how long of a trip it is for shipments to get to Sallow Shore from Pagked? It's been a week. So, tell me, why are you really here?
I feel like Lucan would have known that better than me.
Probably. Give me a diplomacy check And
I'll give you you want diplomacy or deception?
Yeah, deception is, yeah.
Let's go deception. Lucan's better at deception than David is. I get a 21.
A 21. Okay. Well, the 21 is a failure.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it
That's fair.
stands. Who are you? And what do you want?
Oh, all right. You've caught me. My name is Lucan Hollow, and I represent a Bloodlord. We all do, in fact. And here's the thing. The Bloodlords, or at least one of them, has a problem with how things are going in this city. And we'd like to speak with Decrosia about it. And we were told that you might be just the person to speak to try and gain an audience with her.
He slams the book shut and he growls. Decrosia. Fine. What do you need to know? I'll tell you anything you need for that rust hag to die.
Oh, well, glad to see you're amenable. Well, really, just where is she? We're going to kill her.
I can tell you where she's located.
Excellent. And any weaknesses that we might need to know about, or strengths?
She is a rust hag. So I am going to, at him mentioning rust hag, ask if anybody wants to make recall knowledge.
What kind of recall knowledge?
I believe it's going to be occult.
Warfare.
Warfare.
Cult sounds like a terrible choice. Try again.
Hey, Kick says like 1,000.
Oh, actually, society.
Ooh, society.
I'm gonna take it back. It's society, apparently.
So no occultism, just society?
Society, yeah, just society.
22.
19.
Here, let's get Gerdrug back out here.
Oof. The 22 will not do it, and neither will the 19.
Nor will Arius' 5.
That's rough.
I just wanted to roll dice. Or die. Here, I'll roll warfare. Oh, so close to that 20. 21 warfare do it?
Warfare? Unfortunately, even the specific lore check doesn't do it. So no, 21 doesn't. Okay, so it looks like a bunch of failures across the board on the rust hag. Well, I can...
Which is why we're asking him about it.
The only thing I can tell you is that she has a physical weakness to cold iron. Aside from the fact that she bleeds, being quick and all.
All right.
She also is good with that gun that she has.
Oh, good. More guns. As Shara rolls her eyes.
I can say that she outfits some of her clockwork minions with them, as well as some of her higher officers. She's become paranoid of late.
Well, that would happen when you live in Geb and defy the dead laws.
I would say I agree, but even more so than that recently. Something's happened.
Beyond turning the entire town to leaky ghouls?
Trust me, these folk don't care much for that. They go about their lives. She uses them to that end.
Well, that does have something to do with how the fact that they are transformed. They don't even really realize that they are transformed, I don't think.
I would say that would track. I'd be happy to take this city by the throat and get it making something other than vague alchemical items to ship off to God knows where.
Do we know what Pat Ged is supposed to be creating?
Do you know?
Yeah, I'm just asking in general. Would we know? Or could I make a sanity check?
Yeah, I think you did this last time. Packhead was originally known during the height of the war with Nex as a place where war machines were pumped out. Mechanical parts for creations and weaponry and that sort of thing. after the war with Nax, then that sort of slowed down. They started turning out more mundane pieces. And slowly since then, it's been going downhill, obviously.
Do you have any of these alchemical items?
Not on hand, but I can tell you exactly where she ships them to and from.
Yes, please.
We have already tested the water. We would be interested in testing the direct chemical itself.
That you'll have to go to her factory for. I can show you where it is, but I do know that she is crafting 2 very specific alchemical ingredients or something in very high volume. They're being shipped to places like the Axenwood, Sallowshore, and Led.
How long have these been being shipped?
Very recently is when she began to really ramp up production, ever since the rest of the populace died.
Wonder if that has anything to do with why the Bloodlord went to Iliad?
Iled.
Wonder if that has anything to do with the fact that the Bloodlord went to Iled.
That would be your business, I suppose. Though, I can tell you that the party that pays for all of the transactions is named Nathnelma. Pays all the bills. I assume she's funding whatever operation this is.
Do you know where those payments come from?
Those are the ones that come from Iled. From a place called the Twilight Castrum, a necromancy school.
Oh God, so much.
Pause for David to catch up. Need to kill this hag, then move on to Iled to find who's purchasing
All right,
everything.
what was the name you gave for who's paying for it?
Nathnelma. The payments are being made from the Twilight Castrum, which is a necromancy school.
And I also missed it. Did he say he knows what the alchemical concoctions are or not?
He does
No,
not.
he just knows where we could find some.
Where they're being shipped to from.
Well, let's go figure out where they're being made, where Decrosia is, and kill her, and see if we can find any information along the way about what these alchemical items. I'll bet 2 of them are brain grit and
Tremor paste.
whatever it was. Yeah, tremor paste.
I mean, realistically, we don't even need to figure out what it is now. We can figure that out after we kill her. She's probably our main priority.
I would suppose that's true.
Should you actually manage to kill Decrosia, I'll pay you 250 gold for your efforts.
We've already killed 2 from her coven, so...
A positive omen, then.
3, actually.
250 from the Carter's Consortium, coffers, and good word. Perhaps you should visit the cemetery before you go to Decrosia's factory.
For what purpose?
She spends much time there.
Ah, perhaps we'll catch her without so many guards.
Difficult to say, but also, who knows what she left behind.
So, after visiting the cemetery, where would we find her?
Her factory can be found on this cross streets. I understand her office is on the 2nd floor. Be warned, that is one of the main manufacturing locations of her alchemical ingredients. It is heavily guarded.
Perhaps we need a distraction. Perhaps starting a building on fire or something. Draw people away.
Would anybody here care if a building went on fire?
I should say if that's the cost of getting rid of the hag, then do it. But be warned, she has a stranglehold on the Virulek community. It will take some time for me to assuage them into profitable work.
Well, if you need them all destroyed and new quick brought in, I'm sure that can be arranged.
I'd prefer that you leave them if possible. Sorry. If possible. May I suggest creating an exit strategy for when you can finally kill the hag?
By all means, what have you in mind?
I don't have any specific thoughts in that regard, but know that you could cut the populace in half by sabotaging one of the bridges.
You don't have any ideas except you just gave us a specific idea. Okay.
Does she have a way to call them or something? How would they know to come?
They mob up very quickly.
I suppose we did see that.
If she were dead, would they stop following her orders?
It may take a little bit of time, but eventually, yes.
He seems to be indicating that we should get our research done before we do this, then. As we will need to make a quick exit.
Yes, I suppose so. I suppose we should do a little bit of reconnaissance. Let's go to the graveyard and see what we can find there, as Mr. Shroud suggests.
Good luck.
Thank you, good sir. Your help is most appreciated and will be noted to the highest authorities.
You're doing really good at being like, I'm super important. I'll make sure people know that you did me a favor.
One day, I plan on being the highest authority, so... well, except for Geb. Not going to step on Geb's toes.
Can't do that.
I'm a good little bloodlord.
Who's a good little bloodlord?
It's me. It's me.
So what's the party's next move?
Cemetery.
Cemetery.
And I am not blowing up a goddamn bridge. We've done infiltration one time, and I got explosives involved, and it went really badly. I'm not doing that again.
It was fun. So, if you make your way to the cemetery.
Yes, I'd like to go to the cemetery gates.
Great song.
Pakged's cemetery is surrounded by rusted metal fencing and a tall gate that has fallen from its hinges. Within, the hard ground is broken by dry grass and brown weeds. There are many graves, but most of them are empty holes. A pair of tall stone monuments stand in the back of the graveyard, depicting a young couple in wedding clothes.
Wait, so are even the dead, like the ones that have been buried, are coming back alive too, or why are they empty holes?
As you walk around the cemetery, you see that most of the holes are empty, with their casket lids broken in, and no bodies.
Broken from inside or outside?
Give me a perception check on that.
20.
It does look like they're broken from the outside.
Somebody broke into them and stole the corpses.
Into the coffins.
I wonder if bones or something like that is part of like what they're doing or something.
There are a handful of graves which seem more hastily dug up than the others, where the coffins are broken in, but the bodies are still there and lifted like halfway out, like in a sitting position. Their heads cracked open and their brains gone.
Sounds about right.
I mean, brains don't probably last very long to begin with, but...
Do you continue investigating around?
Yeah, I wanna look for anything that might indicate. I mean, does Iron Tavia have a grave? Is she undead? No, she's not dead. I look for clues. Anything that could help us understand how we could control these creatures.
As you're investigating around, from behind one of the monuments that's in the back, the monuments of the young couple in wedding clothes, two humanoid visions of exactly those monuments, those statues, step out from behind the monuments.
Oh.
And their They look like zombies dressed in like their wedding outfits. I don't have a picture of the bride for some reason. They just put the groom in here.
The groom looks pretty badass.
Yeah.
Yes, the glowing purple eyes. Very cool.
But they step out, and the groom steps forward and says, "What are you doing here? Who are you?"
Hello, my name is Lucan Hollow. These are my associates. We are representatives of Bloodlord Howdoli of Grey Dirge. We are here to set things right in this forsaken city.
And the bride steps in. "Set them right how?"
By removing Decrosia, who has allowed the place to become destroyed, nearly destroyed at least. And she's using it for her own purposes that are outside the will of the Bloodlords.
They look to each other and then turn to you, Lucan. "Yes, destroy her. Kill her."
Yes, we're going to. Would you care to help?
Does anybody fucking like her?
Everyone hates her.
Everybody we're running to, fucking kill her. She sucks.
Fucking kill her.
She's right over there. Like, nobody fucking likes her.
What does she do here when she comes?
She exhumes bodies, takes their brains, uses their flesh for creations.
Yes, such interesting creations she has. Might you have any idea how we could sever her connection to them? Even if only temporarily.
We are unsure. Hatred clouds our minds.
Fair. Any other advice you could give on how to kill her?
You vow to try.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
There are some items handed to us as wedding gifts. We have no use for them now. You may take them.
Ah, well, I shall do so. And as I do, Sundrinker, pieces together, kind of rolls a couple of their shoulders and starts pulling off a bouquet of half-dead roses and hands them to the bride. For you.
They're beautiful!
Perhaps once they were.
They still are!
Do you really think so?
And she's brushing them.
Yes.
Curious.
And what is your quarrel with Decrosia?
She poisoned our wedding cake.
What a bitch.
What a bitch, right? No wonder you hate her. Oh, here, let's share the piece of cake, honey.
Any specific reason why?
Fuck if I know. She's awful.
Fucking wedding cake poisoning hag.
I get why nobody fucking likes her now.
No wonder.
I mean, who would poison food?
Do such a thing.
I mean, that was different.
God damn it, Shara.
That's not a fucking wedding cake.
Here I was this whole time thinking I was going to have to fight Arya, so now it's going to be you.
It's just what I needed, a fourth character.
All right, so I'm not gonna roleplay his voice for what the items he's given you are, but they do not need to be identified. It is a ghoul hide and a spell guard shield.
Ghoul hide. +1 hide armor grants you +1 item bonus to saving throws against disease and paralysis and makes you immune to the paralysis of ghouls. Oh.
Nice. And what was the other one?
Spell guard shield. Shield bears eldritch glyphs to the guard against magic.
Well, you're the only one who uses a shield.
Gain circumstance bonus to saving throws against spells that target you.
That's a pretty good fucking shield. Get that raise shield bonus on spells as well as your AC.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty good.
So, you know where Decrosia's located. She's on the second story office in a factory building. In that factory, they're making brain grit and the tremor paste, you assume, in mass quantities. And the Shroud has informed you that they're being shipped to places that you've already visited, but also to Iled. So, what's next?
I mean, she's got to be doing something to them in order to make them something more than just the two by themselves. Right? I mean,
I still feel like we're missing something. Like, I think there's something more.
do we need to check out one of the factories?
Yeah, I feel like there's some third, fourth, fifth even items that, like, is a catalyst that makes them do something different. Possibly turning everybody into these green zombies. That could be what it is.
I will point out that both of the Maglins, the married couple, were not Virulek like the green ones are.
Right, I noticed. They look more like whites.
They were Revenants, actually.
Revenants. Oh, they were Shara.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Interesting. So either she just poisoned them for the fun of it, or poisoned them prior to perfecting the formula. Maybe that was a first attempt or something.
Could be. Yeah, she could have been testing it out.
I mean, a wedding would be a large gathering. Did other people die? Or is it just them?
Well, that's a good question.
I'll ask him that. Were you the only ones that were killed, or was it your whole group?
The whole wedding party died.
And none returned as these green zombies.
They all did. Except us.
Ah, yes, of course. Your hatred, I'm sure, turned you into what you are. Sound familiar, Shara?
I don't know what you're talking about. She smiles.
I'm sure you don't, darling. I say we take our new toys and head towards the factory. I at least want to stake out the factory. Just see how many things are there that we're going to have to fight or infiltrate our way past.
All right. And as you head off in that direction, maybe just kind of like walk down the street on that block and then, you know, maybe turn the corner and then walk down the other side of the block. Just, you know, hanging out, just walking the block, right?
Just hanging out.
Sure, just hanging out.
I'm a bush.
As you're checking out the factory, you notice that there are clockwork riflers posted at the corners of each of the buildings and one at each of the entrances. There's two entrances, front entrance and back entrance. And then the four corners makes for 8 riflers. It's a big building, but it's not that big. So they're not going to take them long for 2 to turn into 4, 4 to turn into 6, etc.
I want to look around for the most decrepit-looking building I can find that abuts this factory.
Okay.
Do I see anything that looks like it could be abandoned?
Absolutely.
I want to try and get out of line of sight of the riflers or anybody that could be watching and make my way towards this abandoned building.
Lucan, give me a stealth check.
Must I? It's not going to go well.
You don't have to, I guess. We'll just take your stealth DC.
Oh, I roll a 17 and get a 17.
Nice. All right, so you walk into the building. It is decrepit.
Excellent.
Falling apart.
Okay, I want to look for a basement. Are there stairs down? Are there holes in the floor that lead to a basement?
That is actually something you do not find.
Fuck. I was hoping to attack the factory from below. Find an adjacent building with like a basement, maybe knock out a wall to get into the factory and come in from somewhere there.
Okay.
Avoid the guards altogether.
Yeah, there actually aren't any basements in the entire city.
It's very Ocean's 11-y of you. I don't know what movie that's actually from. I just throw out a random reference.
I'm stealing it straight from the Redheaded League, which is a Sherlock Holmes story. That's right. I went Victorian on my strategy.
Next, let's attack it from the air.
Yeah. Actually, that was my first idea, and I'm like, wait, we don't have any way to do that. How about from underneath?
When he made a comment about making a quick escape, I was like, "Oh, do you have a like flying ship or something?"
So, within the context of the infiltration, this is considered an individual obstacle. Everyone will have to make a specific overcome check to try to get into the factory.
What are our options?
Then you get a lot to pick from.
Do we get to know our options?
I mean, you're basically looking for anything that just lets you bypass the guards. So it could be an acrobatics check, an athletics check, a deception check, a society check, a stealth check. That's basically it.
Intimidate them?
Intimidation wouldn't work specifically because they're clockwork riflers.
Yeah. What about like a crafting or a lore architecture to like go in through this building to like just go in through a wall?
I would allow that.
I don't know why I'm stuck on that.
I don't know why you're stuck on that either, but yeah.
Medicine check. I'm a doctor. Just let me go through.
Well, see, because my thought is if we each have to make an individual check, like, sure, I can make a deception check, but I sure as fuck can't make an athletics check.
I attempted an athletics check. I failed, I think.
Are we all going to go the same route, or are we picking different routes?
He made it some individual.
It's up to you. Because it's technically an individual infiltration point, but if you do something creative that allows others to bypass or to assist, that is also allowed.
Someone do something cool to save me from my failed athletics check.
So yeah, some of us can use athletics to burrow between the buildings.
Yeah, I don't know what the athletics check would account for, to be frank
Climb.
with you.
Climbing to the top?
Up to a
Climbing,
window
yeah,
or
there you go,
something.
climbing to the top, that makes sense.
Which
Yeah,
means
that
my
makes
failure
sense.
is not a big deal. Nobody heard me. We're good.
You're going to fall and clang to the ground, and everybody's going to run over. And
There's
the
just
rest of
another
us are going
fucking
to
pile of bones.
duck inside.
There's bones all over the place.
And armor.
And armor and a giant sword.
Magical. They're automatons. They don't wear armor, right?
That's a good point. They don't give a shit. Clockwork.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we know. Okay. Then I'm certainly going to make a deception check.
Okay. The deception can be for things like, distracting them by making a sound over there to make them go check it out or what have you.
I like that. Then slip in behind them.
Yeah.
That works for me.
All right. Go ahead with the deception check then.
Oh, that's pretty good. 31.
Lucan successfully slides in through the front door.
I am assuming, I'm just imagining that like Arius's falling to the ground was like an aid to me.
I was the distraction.
What was that?
So Lucan successfully bypasses. Who's going to try next?
Deception checks?
No, you can make like any check that you think that you can explain why it would help you get past.
Yes, that's basically it. Yeah.
Past these?
Like again, crafting a better disguise or something maybe.
Maybe disguise yourself as a clockwork soldier.
We've got one of their rifles.
We've got two of their bodies.
We got to go back to the warehouse.
Strap some pieces of their bodies on you. Carry a rifle around. Yeah, I'm only good at athletics, so I guess I'm trying to climb a wall or open a stuck window that's or something.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
27.
27 is a success.
God damn it. Am I the only one that's going to fail this shit?
That's what hero points were meant for.
Could I actually fail for sure?
Yeah, you totally did.
And don't know what I'm gonna do.
We're waiting to see if Spencer fails.
Can I just talk my way out of it with society?
I don't
think that's how society works.
but it's funny that society is on this list here, as I'm not really sure how you would use it to bypass.
I say the name of an important figure in town and demand that I need to go through.
Let's say knowing customs or
You start spouting off, appropriate tax forms and saying that you're here for an audit.
I am from the tax
He's from the bank,
guild.
right?
I
Yeah.
whip out my old ID.
Do the really badge flip.
I'm with Gep IRS.
Cab IRS roll coming in hot. We got accounting. 18 accounting roll.
Swanee, you're the expert. How's 18 in accounting?
Because it's a specific lore check, it has a lower DC, and that is a success.
Fuck you, Arias.
What the fuck?
Figure out how to make warfare a good check here.
Arias
Right,
with
hero point this
Arias
shit.
with an 18 was the only one who failed, and yeah, you can hero point it if you want, or try to use another skill that has some way that you could get by the guards with. Not sure how, but
Oh, I can try other stuff? Like, I wasn't sure if I could, like, cop with my failure.
I mean, yeah, but if you're going to spend a hero point, I'll let you pick a different skill check if you want to try something else.
Oh, no, athletics is my highest.
Also one of the higher DCs as well. Also a higher DC.
I don't know what else you want me to try. I don't have anything else.
Well, your athletics again, I suppose.
Is it worth my hero point? The automatons are...
Otherwise, you don't get in. So
He's got this.
You have to fight 2 clockwork riflers.
They'll join me eventually. Eventually, they'll be like, Arias is missing. Oh, he's out soloing to clockwork.
that's what Gurdruck thought.
I'm the healer. It's fine. I'm just gonna sit there healing myself. Like, guys, I'm running out of heals. Come get me, guys.
Guys, if you don't come help me, I'm gonna tell them all that you're here. We've only had one fight since the beginning of the infiltration, though.
So you're gonna solo some clockwork riflers?
Fuck yeah. No. I guess I'll just fucking hero point. I'm probably gonna fail anyways, guys. You're gonna have to come back and get me. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Hero point well used. I got a 30.
There you go. The 30 will do it. All right, so we've got Arias and Shara climbing in through a window. We've got Lucan made a distraction, and Kix talked his way in. You all meet just inside of the factory, and inside of the factory, it is this hulking, rusted structure that's made of metal and stone. On the factory floor, you see these creatures, these dwarves, with flames for hair, wielding war hammers, working the forges, pumping the bellows, watching the conveyor belts, putting ingredients into the vats, mass-producing alchemical ingredients.
The dwarf's fucking badass. That's some awesome artwork.
Damn. Fuck.
It's super fucking metal. They're called Forge Spurned,
Forge Spurn.
and they are undead.
That is sick.
So the factory is staffed by these hardworking undead dwarves, and you can see that because of the way that they're moving, you know, from one station to the next, back and forth, from the conveyor belts to the bellows, all on this main floor here, you're going to have to either sneak by them or potentially find another way through, because the stairs, the stairwell, is in the middle of the factory floor, leading to a catwalk that then walks over to the office areas.
And it doesn't appear as though they've noticed us.
No, they're really in their work. Like, they have this, like, very zeroed in focus on what they're doing.
Okay, we jam a conveyor belt. They come, and then they have to move to go check on it.
Yeah, I should be able to do that with a spell. I got telekinetic projectile. I could launch something into a conveyor belt pretty hard. Fuck it up a bit.
Yeah, you do that. Fireball.
Oh, I would, but their hair is made of fire. I'm thinking they're gonna resist a bit of it.
We have a necklace of fireballs. Just start chucking them into shit.
Never cast fireball at creatures who have a fire
I'm
for
not saying
hair.
to throw it at them. I'm saying throw it at, like, machinery and shit. Break shit.
Yeah, but that makes it. We don't want it to make it look obvious.
It's a fucking forge. There's fire. Fire happens. Fireballs.
Put a literal wrench in the machine.
We don't have wrenches.
Yes, literal. They're all over the place. It's a forge. A tongs, then. A hammer. Tyler, tell me I see one of these things somewhere in 30 feet.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you see all that shit everywhere.
No, tell him he doesn't. A terrible idea. Tell him no.
Yeah, we group up, we position ourselves, and I'm going to look for a weak spot. Kicks, can you give me, what do you got? You got like crafting, architecture? What can you do to tell me where a weak spot in these mechanics are?
Carl's the architect.
You have crafting, though, don't you?
A 28 to determine things. Warfare the machines down, you foolish skeleton.
Like, put a chunk of like rope or something that'll take it a second to bind so that we can
Oh, there
move
you go.
away.
Good idea. Rope.
And with Kick's 28 crafting, he should be able to handle that.
I got 60-foot telekinetic versus your 30, so...
Oh, you just do it then. Hell yeah, this is all kicks.
Well, yeah, all right. So what exactly are you doing?
At a 60-foot range, I'll put... I don't know, what do we got around? There's just some other random material.
Rope.
Is
Conveyor
rope.
belts, bellows, there's material, there's,
As long as
some
rope's got a
forges
bulk of one, I'd attempt to do that.
and you're putting rope where?
I'm tying it like in a knot, and I'm gonna have it catch one of the gears.
In a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Got it.
So like it takes a little bit for it to wind up and bind so that we can get away and we can be somewhere other than there.
All right. So that's a success from Kicks on that. I wanted everybody to give me a perception check.
And this is Decrosia's place. Have we seen Miss Decrosia yet?
You have not, no.
It's like Arius' 31 is the best.
So, Arius, you see across the factory floor, pretty close by the stairwell, there's some ground floor offices, and you see this man shouting at an underling.
His mustache would burn that cigar.
I just want to be friends with these people. Fuck me. This is like a fucking badass looking dwarf face, and his hair and gigantic beard and gigantic eyebrows are wispy flames, and he's smoking a great big stogie, and it's just great.
All white eyes, gray skin. Yeah, I love this art. But you see him shouting at an underling nearby, and then you see him pointing up towards the second floor, and he throws down one of his tools, and it makes this loud clang, and he goes and stomps off to his office and slams the door behind him. And now big plumes of steam are starting to come out as one of the agents that was coming from and rolling into a vat through a conveyor belt is no longer being delivered at the same speed that it was. The sensitive alchemical mixture begins to roil. There's a ruckus. A lot of the workers, they look up and they look over at this vat that is no longer getting things, and they're all running over to it. One of the guys going over and knocking on the supervisor's door, the guy who was just shouting at him to come out, and they're all going to investigate. So I need some checks for everybody to get through this maze of machinery around where all the focus now is on this one conveyor belt. You have to make your way around and get to the stairwell to get to the second floor. Stealth checks, deception checks, anything?
If I can do deception, I'll do deception.
Yeah, go ahead with the deception.
16.
That's a failure, but not a huge deal.
I choose to stealth.
Choose
How
to
about
stealth.
acrobatics?
Okay. Yeah, I'll allow that. You're gonna have to jump over a lot of machinery that's active and moving.
Shara will get a 28 on a deception.
That'll do it. Somebody wasn't quite, they were looking on something else nearby, and you have to take a wrench and throw it to make a sound and distract them the other way as you make your way to the stairwell.
Arius gets a 22 acrobatics.
22 acrobatics is a success. Everything across the board here was a success except for Lucan's 16. Increases your awareness points by 1.
Doesn't matter. But we're killing it so far, right?
Honestly, you have been fucking killing it so far. You do have a decent buffer.
All right, I'm taking the one hit.
Haven't even hit your first fucking
You
threshold.
goddamn fool.
It's bullshit. I had to use my hero point.
You were just baited by the G.
Yeah.
You guys are fine. Oh, never mind. You're dead.
Fuck now. Oh, wait, hold on. We get the assembly line of death complication. Here it is. Well, that's not a critical failure. You're fine. So, you make your way to the stairwell, and you've distracted the workers on the first floor well enough to be able to make your way up the stairwell without them noticing you. You get up to the second floor where this catwalk is, and you see the upper balcony. Looks as though it's being patrolled by some construct.
What a goofy ass looking bastard.
It looks like David Harbour's Hellboy.
I'm a totally normal person.
Just here to work.
Does this thing appear as though it has spotted us?
It doesn't appear to have spotted you, but you can at this point make a recall knowledge check to discover more about the creature before you proceed.
Kind of recall knowledge we thinking robot?
This one's going to be Arcana, Crafting, or Religion.
That 20 on warfare.
Yeah, all right, I'll take that, actually. I'll take
Does
that.
look like it can do war.
It does ward pretty damn good. This actually makes sense. So this thing is called an Asmakian effigy. Tsar Asmak, the demon lord of Rust, was destroyed long ago by Despater. Some weapons of his infernal legions remain, and among the most infamous are Asmakian effigies, fearsome infernal construct shaped in his image. Although made of iron, an Asmakian's effigy exterior is thick with rust that flakes off as the construct moves and fights. They charge into battle on massive hooves, impaling enemies on long, curving horns. The effigy's most well-known attack, and the ability that makes the bravest warrior tremble, is their terrible, rusting breath, which can reduce even legendary magical weapons to useless scrap.
Alright, Arius, go fight him.
You got a critical success with that, so you get 3 pieces of information aside from what you just found out.
Should I go fight him?
You go fight him? That's it? You're just gonna go fight
No,
him?
I said, should I go fight him? That's the piece of info I want.
Oh. I mean, so from the infiltration standpoint, this is a group obstacle. You basically decide how you're going to overcome the obstacle. One person makes the roll, and the others can assist. You can do that, or you can just fight it. It is a 7th level creature.
I get 3 bits of info. Kicks probably critically succeeded as well, right?
With what kicks get?
32 in crafting.
Crafting?
32.
32 crafting is just a standard
No,
success.
I'll stick with my critical success then.
It's not a nat 20.
It's the nat 20 that did it for you.
I don't know. What should I ask, guys? What's the best way to bypass it? Can I use all 3 questions to get that one question? What's the best way to bypass this?
Let's see. You can make any sort of skill check together with one skill check, essentially. Religion is the easiest DC to overcome.
How do we beat him with religion?
Sneaking around the construct is difficult, although those familiar with its fiendish nature can more easily distract it. Or maybe you're just taking like a red, ripping some red cloak off of your, tossing it to distract, or I don't know.
How would that be religion?
That makes sense.
So, who's got the best religion?
I have an 11.
I got a 10.
No, the
I'm a
cleric.
cleric.
But the way Arius rolls has been a
I just
really...
rolled a nat 20.
No. I don't
You're due
believe
for a
in
nat
that.
1.
Rolling it.
No, do it, Arius.
30.
Nice.
Damn.
How do we aid him?
You don't have to. A 30 is a critical success. That gets you 3 infiltration points. I'm trying to think of what amazing insight would Arius have. I have this feeling that somehow Arius it encountered one of these on the battlefield way centuries ago, and I don't know.
It likes to chase bones. He pulls off one of his femurs and throws it.
There you go.
It likes to play fetch.
I just break a branch off of Sundrinker and throw it.
Throw that.
Okay, it's confused. It doesn't know what to do. It walks over to it. It rusts onto it, but nothing happens. And you're all able to sneak by to the nearby hallway back to the office area. This is going really well right now.
Who would have guessed?
Ha!
Which means we're going to roll terribly against the boss.
I'm just not going to roll anything against the boss, and I'm just going to remember I'm a caster.
Oh yeah, make the boss roll DCs, because they're not good at that.
I've gotten my nat 20 and my 19 like done for the night. Like, I'm not rolling. Fuck that.
Alright, let's get to this office. Let's do this.
So you get to the office, and there are no entries to the office other than the one that you're coming down. And it looks like the effigy that was outside was really kind of the last line of defense here. The office is at the end of the hallway. Door is shut.
Hell yeah.
So now we need to find a way into this door, or what?
Yeah, is the door locked?
The door is not locked.
I guess we go in.
I guess we waltz into that shit.
So you open the door. You see the hag, feet up on the desk, with a cloth, polishing her rifle.
I'll bet she is.
Oh, that is definitely a hag. Wow. Although it almost looks like she's wearing like a raggedy wedding dress or something.
Look at the details on that rifle, though.
Yet the rifle is gorgeous, isn't it?
That is sick.
I'm starting to wonder if somebody should have made a gunslinger for this campaign.
Yeah, who realized? Jeez. God, and she's got the dual pistols on the chest too. That's so awesome.
Very cool character.
Those like whistles on her, like hanging down. What are those?
They look like pan flutes.
They're each individual. They're not like hooked together.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what they are. So anyways, Decrosia's got her feet up on her desk, polishing her blunderbuss, and you waltz in, and her eyes go wide, and she stands up out of her desk, and her bare feet, and she jumps out the window.
What? Fuck. All right. We give chase.
Gotta love an enemy who immediately upon seeing the party flees out the nearest window. I guess we'll be giving chase. Will we be fast enough to catch her? Find out next time as we continue Bloodlords. And until then, may you have many great adventures of your own.
It's your turn.